Hi, I'm Jack Canfield, and welcome back to Hollywood Live. My next guest is Victor Eke-Spiff. He is a transformational coach, trainer, and speaker from Nigeria. So we're going to have a wonderful conversation. Welcome, Victor.
Well, thank you, sir.
My pleasure to have you here. So tell me a little bit about yourself and about the work you do.
Well, it's a new vocation I have now for about a year. I had a career of over 30 years up to last year. And honestly, I thought I was going to become a technical consultant, but things turned the other way around 2 years before I signed off from the old career. So I was home, and then it's like a voice spoke to me, Victor, it's time to give back. I said, give what back, and to who? And he said, for all you've been through in your life, just go tell your story. And do you think for all these years you've been working in this place, do you think you've been doing what you thought you were doing? You have been transforming people. So that is what you need to go out there in the world. Tell your story. As many people as it resonates with, pick them up, lead them, so that they too can be able to take a handle on their lives and live a better life.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you listen to that voice.
I listen to that voice.
And you've been doing that now.
Yes, I've been doing that now since I was 13.
Oh, listening to the voice,
Yeah.
following the inner voice.
Yeah, because that was a turning point in my life.
Well, talk about that briefly. What was the turning point?
Yeah, at about 13, I was learning to play the keyboard. My father enrolled me in the church, in the choir. And then I went further because I was also writing songs. I wrote a number of songs, and then my teacher encouraged me to send these songs to Boston, Massachusetts, 5 Stars Music Masters. So they set it to music, sent back the lead sheets and everything I needed to be able to play if I was going to be a good musician. So my father turned it down, and he asked me to stop my romance with music. At that point, I felt I was being boxed. So quite a number of questions kept reeling out of my mind. Why must I live another person's life? I was about 13. So I walked out of the house to the back of the house, and I saw myself sitting on the ground. I was really tearing my heart out. It would have felt like maybe a whole day, but I tell you, it was just about 10 minutes experience. A pat on my shoulder, Victor, what you have before you is a lot more than what you are crying about now. I thought somebody was behind me. By the time I raised my head, I saw nobody was there, but I felt peace. And then I realized that each time I had issues, worries, or cares, I will go back there, sit on that same spot on the ground, spend a few minutes, and I'll be fine. So I identified that as my corner. And when I was going to high school, I thought I was going to miss my corner. But in school, I had situations where I realized that my corner was still with me, wherever I went. So that turned out to be like a renewing place for me.
Yes. That's beautiful. Good for you. Most people would be very happy to tap into that place. I'm sure as part of your work you can help people do that.
Oh, yeah, yes. That's part of what I do, part of what I teach.
Very good, very good, very good. So I think about transformational coaching. What is the state of transformational coaching in Nigeria at this point in time?
Well, transformational coaching in Nigeria for now, it's more like in the hands of the pastors. And also, well, motivational speakers. And then it's quite an emerging industry in Nigeria up to now. And that's side by side with what I'm doing. I am following the directions of my mind. So, and then it is only what you can see that you can achieve. So even though the situations around, the facts around, do not seem to be like there's anything coming out of it, but I am seeing way ahead. The important thing is helping people to awaken and connect to their wealth of mind so that they can get a better handle of their lives. So that's more primary to me. And that's my calling, which I think now probably I ought to have been doing. But I thank God I had this career. It was still a period of preparation for me. So,
No, I think you're tapped into something very deep, so I really honor and respect that in you. Tell me a little bit about your work. Like when you're working with someone, what do you do with them?
well, when I'm working with someone, I know people, a lot of people, or most people, they have needs. Most people know what they don't want. And they barely know what they want. And from what they speak about, it's what you speak about is what fills your heart, your mind. And then what I help them to come out of is a simple trick that worked for me and is still working for me. Every situation has two sides to it, by the law of polarity. And I see every situation, on one side of it is the lower feeling side. The lower feeling side, the side that is more dissatisfactory. And then the upper feeling side, that is the better feeling side. Of course, everybody likes to feel better. We feel our way through life. And then it shows even in our expressions and in the way we cope with situations around. So, if you feel discontent, dissatisfied over any situation, that the situation is not for you is true. That the situation has two sides is true. And that is the situation that makes you is a lie. Describe the way you feel with one word. Whatever word you come up with, that only places you on the side you have chosen. If it's on the lower feeling side, that's where you are. If you're downstairs, you don't feel good, where do you need to be? Upstairs. So on the lower feeling side, if that's where you are, and you keep relating with that, or expecting the situation to change, situation never changes for your sake. But you change by renewing on to the level where you want to be. So the good feeling side, that's where you want. So you relate with that. And how do you relate with that? By renewing. First decide what you want. Be committed to that. It's what you want that you fill your mind with. And as you fill your mind with that, it consumes the mind. And by the law of attraction, what we think about, we become. And based on the first law, which is the law of vibration, thoughts are things. In short, everything is created twice. Before it became a thing in the outer world, it first became a thought. A thing, as in the idea in the mind, what you are thinking about. And that's what gives rise to the thing in the form of situation, event, circumstance, and all that. So you create that. You can't better a situation, but you can make better situations.
I get that. You have a lot of deep wisdom. I appreciate that.
Thank
Now,
you, sir.
if you were sitting here talking to you when you were younger,
Yeah.
and you were starting out as an entrepreneur,
Yes.
what advice would you give yourself? And I ask you that because a lot of our viewers are in that situation. They're younger and they're starting out as an entrepreneur. But if you were talking to Victor, what would you say to him?
Well, the entrepreneurship is a tool. For some, you must have something in you that is value to give. And the value to give must come from the background of a sound mind. Mm-hmm. The mind has to be sound, free from encumbrances, failings of the past and all. And also not leaping into the will-be future. It's like you want to travel tomorrow, you are packing all kinds of things you might never use. So, because life it is now, the only time that is current is now. And this is only now, and the power of now is here and now. Mm-hmm. So we miss that out when we begin to bring the baggage of the past to the present. Mm-hmm. It shields us from, the power we have in the moment.
Yes.
So, if we really want to move ahead, the future is now in the moment because it's now we create it.
Yes. I always said too, if people can make the now,
yes,
if they can create now being happy and abundant and all that,
yes,
all the future is an unfoldment of now.
Yes, exactly, sir.
Perfect. Yeah. Yes. Very good. Very good.
So if you create the value, Jim Brown said, bring value to the marketplace and you'll get paid. The money looks for value.
That's right. So
when you bring value, you create value, it attracts the money. Money comes by attraction. It's a means of exchange. Mm-hmm. It's only a symbol of wealth. It is not wealth of itself.
Very good.
The wealth is inside. The value is there.
Well, I wish we had more time. This would be like a master class in the mind because you're really brilliant. I appreciate it. Unfortunately, we don't. But if people want to find out more about contacting you, working with you, hiring you as a speaker, hiring you as a trainer, consultant, coach, where do they go? How do they reach you?
Well, my email address is Victor Eke-Spiff, one word, at yahoo.com. And the website is myvittorio.com. And also open the Facebook fan page, which is My Vittorio Coaching.
Very good.
Yeah, and currently I have in the last 5 months or so, I've built up about 22,000 followers.
Good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. Well, it'll be 1 million soon, and we'll
we'll
all celebrate.
I hope so.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Victor, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Sorry we have to leave that. That was fascinating. Anyway, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this message.